All right, so we got Niro from the Floaters in here, baby. What's up, man? How you
What's up,
doing,
bro?
bro? I appreciate you pulling up, bro. It mean a lot for real, man. You got, you do the Floaters, bro. Like you got like probably the hottest platform in the DMV right now, bro. Like real talk.
Thank you.
So, like, for people who don't know, man, like just explain what the Floaters is and like how y'all came up with that whole idea.
So the floaters, it's really a long story, but it really kind of comes from like the industry, like the pace of the industry for real, or from how I'm entering it for real. So I had caught my first camera in 2020, and I started shooting like music videos during the pandemic. So you gotta think like the pandemic was lit. Like everybody had money. Like everybody had unemployment. So you gotta think like the underground scene was lit on the music video tip. Everybody doing music videos. So fast forward, I started shooting videos. Long story short, it just was like I kind of wanted to have like a network or like a product more so like a brand for real. So me and my man's Henry, we um we just had the idea wanting to have a business for real. So the name the floaters kind of just comes from that and putting a name on it for real. So I try to think of something catchy, and then once I said it, it just kind of stuck for real.
So, where y'all like based out of?
So I'm from Columbia, Maryland. My peoples are from New York. So my father played basketball for Morgan State, and so that's how we got out. My family got out here, but I'm from Columbia. I went to Morgan, but Baltimore was like where I started shooting music videos at for real. Like when I started shooting music videos, I was already rapping and recording in Baltimore, so I was already meeting a lot of Baltimore artists. So when I transitioned into like the cameraman, I kind of already had a network of artists that I kind of got better with for real, like free videos or for the low. And my man John right here, like I kind of met him like my second, third month of really freelancing, and me and him grew together for real. Like he's been doing a lot of great stuff, like decorated stuff, like.
So when you was doing the music videos, like when did you start like coming up with the idea, like actually like putting it together and like making something big with it?
Like the floaters.
Yeah.
So I mean, the music video kind of was slow for me for real. Like I don't want to say it was slow for me, but it's kind of like the whole industry. For that's why I kind of started out at the beginning. Like it's the industry. Like I'm just kind of going with the wave, really. Like really just trying to kind. That's how I make my money off the videos. So I'm just really going with the trends, and I guess kind of like my experiences, like me making music and trying to rap for real, transition to shooting music videos. And I went to school for journalism at Morgan, so I was learning the cameras, and it's just kind of like everything is kind of came together into the photos. Like I was like 29 when we first started. I'm 32 now, so it's like it just was kind of like instead of going against the grain, I just was going with the wave. So we really didn't like make the floaters to be a freestyle platform. It's more so like to be a brand, and we were going to do media for real, and we were going to try to have studios and clothes and all that for real. The actual like freestyle platform kind of grew out of like what the fuck we gonna do for real. Like this is what's working for real. Like we was in the studio kind of like this where we couldn't really do nothing to the walls and nothing. So like how you got a backdrop right there is just you think when you get a studio it's like what the fuck can we do? Shit, let's get a backdrop. We can get some photo shoot money or something. So we kind of had that, but I'm not really a photographer, so my video clients I did have, they would come to the studio and that would be all we would really do is just shoot backdrop type videos. So I think when I got the blue backdrop, like when I finally just bought the blue backdrop, and I just called it Floaters Freestyle One. Maybe like a couple weeks later, did the second one, third one, and just kept going for real.
Did you like take any like inspiration from like any other
Yeah,
platforms when
like
you started doing that?
on the radar and Dumblit for real. So of course on the radar, I was like, okay, like we don't know what else the fuck to do. Could just be the DMV on the radar. And my man Lance told me he was, cause I was kind of, I'd be complaining out loud for real. So I was just like, man, I ain't trying to just do mic videos like as like a videographer. And I ain't the most sophisticated videographer, but as a videographer, try to be creative. And it's like, man, I don't want to just do what somebody else doing, like just the mic videos. It's like you copying somebody, but it's like fuck going against the grain. Like that's what they want. And the dude Lance told me he was like it ain't about it's more so about if everybody, it's like selling weed. Everybody sells weed, but you gonna buy from who you want to buy from. So when he said that, it kind of was just like I can see people like wanting to do it. Like me being a part of it, kind of is like making it a difference for real. Like so, it's like I don't really. It doesn't really matter if everybody else doing it. It's kind of going to be in my own way, regardless.
So kind of like, kind of touching on that, like what do you feel, or how do you feel like the floater stands out from like, other like platforms that kind of do the same thing that you do?
Like as far as like on the radar or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
um, shit. Just I wouldn't say it's smaller because on the radar, not really like they got a simple operation too for real. I would just say probably just me, just coming out of nowhere for real. Like of course, like I said, I was in the trying to be in the industry or whatever type of. I say the industry out here, even though it's not really like an industry, like it's industry, but it's still like the scene for real is probably a way better word. I should probably saying scene the whole time, but the scene. So I just be pay attention to the scene. So I'm saying me not really me just working my way into the scene, like rapping, not a lot of plays for real. Like I'm nice, but I wasn't really. I was just starting out, like just starting out with studio quality music videos and all that. So I would say that's the difference. Like it's just like, cause who am I for real? Like
What cuz y'all pretty much iconic with the blue backdrop. Like what how did you like come up with that idea of being like, I want to make it blue, like that's going to be our representation?
shit, when we was making the logo, it was just like John made the logo, and so like I said, like I came up with the name, and just was like, all right, we need a logo. Like the floaters is really like the basketball shot. The floaters, like so it was like we the small guy in media getting the big shot. We the small guy in media taking a shot over the big media for real. Like so like basically like what I just got finished saying for real is like I'm just a small guy. Just people like carry it like it's some like official organization or something, but it's really just me shooting videos every week, like 5, 6, 7 of them, and editing one, two every day for real. So it's not really like anything fantastic going on. It's just really consistency. But so that's really what floaters means, like the small guy getting a shot over the big guy, like what the floater shot is for real. So we drew up a couple logos for real, but John, like he tough with the graphics and the logos. Like so we shoot music videos, he makes the titles and shit for the music videos, and so that helped me learn that helps stuff pop for real. So got the logo from John, but he was making it with us. I think we came up with the blue. Like of course we was like studying meanings of what the colors mean, but we was sitting on a blue couch for real, and it was just like if you look at some of the content, you can see what the blue couch I'm talking about. We were sitting on the blue couch. My man Henry said purple. Remember he said purple, and he was like hell no. And you feel me? It's up in the air who said blue or whatever, but I feel like I definitely said it. But and then when we made the logo, John was like, "I need a cat, like a character for real, like a little symbol for real." So that's how we came up with the duck. We put the so we put the duck instead of the O in the floors.
So who was some of like the early artists that like you when you first started that you had like doing the freestyles, like who was some of the early artists that you had like had on at first?
Like Trey Armani, Soda, um, John, um, like very first. And then on the interview tip, I interviewed GGL Slick. He like a legend he like a legend in Baltimore in the rap scene. And then it just kind of just kept going from there. Like it just kind of just kept growing. So
So when an artist, like for those like artists who trying to like get on the floaters or something like that, how does an artist like set up, you know, or book like a time to like come and like do a performance on the floaters?
I mean, it's like a music video. Like if you want somebody to shoot your music video, you gotta hit them up, see when they're available. They tell you the price, or you feel me? It's business really. It's business and it's like business and it's like love of the love of the music. But like you feel me? Like it's at the end of the day, everything costs money to do. Time costs money. Like I'm a teacher now, so it's like I got my time's kind of like I'm not the person to say, "Oh, my time is valuable," but it's kind of like I can't just be doing it just to do it for real, and especially like we done did it for real, like so a lot of stuff kind of like it's really just for the consistency of it. Not saying just for the consistency of it, but it's like that's the name of the game: consistency and collaboration. So it's just a balance of trying to do what's best for real.
What's some of the challenges that go into like putting the whole production together? Like when you doing a shoot with an artist.
Just the system for real and everything working right in the system. 'Cause that's the way that I can do it so consistently because it's a system for real. I'm not like going in and doing it different every time. Like people be going there doing wild shit, but at the end of the day, I don't change what I'm doing for real. Like if you look back, I'm just still doing 5 angles for real, and I'm just chopping it up, and I'm putting the logo on there, I'm putting the name on it, and I'm fading it out. That's all I'm doing for real. So that's I just kind of keep everything in them lines, so it makes the process easy. So on set, one thing that can really make things difficult is if something's missing out the system. Like, of course, all you need to shoot a video is a tripod and a camera. You know, you can improvise from there, but for it to be the system, you would want everything there, like how you got it.
How many people like?
And people
Uh,
people being late, that's what
yeah,
be
yeah.
fucking shit up. Like that should be crazy.
How many people like like come or like help you put the whole production together? Like like you got like different like cameramen and like people just all
So it's
over.
like it's really built off of the fact that I can do it by myself, but as I've been growing, I've been working with a lot of people for real. Like it's been a lot of people around, like, and it be a lot of different hats being worn. Like it's a lot of different phases of it. Because when you think of like adults and like real life, for real, like it's kind of like really like an open place. The floor is kind of really open place for anybody that's trying to do production for real. Like, I never like kind of not let people around for real. So I done had people with me for real. They still with me for real. And I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying like it's a lot of people for real. But the process is basically mained off of I can do it by myself for real. But my man Mark, he's been shooting a lot of the videos for me lately. Like we kind of like collab on it, like on some like we both directing it kind of, but we just working together on the vision. But it's still like the same 5 shots, so it kind of just like really just allows us to be creative. But like I had people like my man Josh, his name Abstract, Sid, Asha. You feel me? A lot of people. My man Jody kind of is the one that was the one that was like really helping me set it up the blue backdrop when we was first doing like when we was really like practicing different lighting setups and stuff like that. It was me and Jody for real. But like I said, it's just like kind of the way that I'm doing it. It just don't make no sense. It don't make sense for me to do it for real. So it's like I never really just want nobody really stressing over the shit with me for real, like or not or putting this above like what they gotta do. So there's a lot of people who really just been there for me the whole time for real. Like, and even now, like I'm working in the studio in Bowie called Ranger 4 Studios, but the record label's called Ranger Game. So my man's Arcade Droid for real. He like a producer, engineer, artist. I met him the last month of the lease when we was in Baltimore. So like the spot in Baltimore was so nice, kinda. We got in there for a good deal, but it was so nice that people would always be complimenting it. But it was a temporary lease, so I would always just be mindful of that. Like we could be out there any day, so I don't want people attaching that to us too much. So I kind of always deflect, like, yeah, we could be out there any day, like we just. But that happened for a whole 2 years. But I kept telling people that the whole 2 years. So the last month we was in there, Arcade came in there with his artist Ducky for real, and they you feel me. Oh, this is a nice spot. I'm like, yeah, but we out of here at the end of the month because it was to that point. And he was like, oh, I got the spot on Bowie for real, and I just took a leap of faith, kind of just trusted him for real, checked it out, and we did business, and and that kind of is like gave me like a kind of like a you feel me like a spurt, just kind of like knowing that this really kind of like we can put the floaters in the trunk and go anywhere and do it as long as the ceilings is high enough.
So with the artists like that come on, like, do you ever like kind of like turn down any artist, or is it like any you kind of like
Yeah, I
just
turned
pick?
down artists for some shit. Just like feel me, we work hard, like so it's like it just get easy, kind of like the harder you work, it's kind of like what you work that hard for, just to kind of let anything go. So and I'm kind of starting to be more mindful of that because you gotta think like I'm still, you feel me, like the way we kind of got here is kind of I'm kind of still stuck on that same plan for real. So I'm not really like moving like it's 26,000 followers. I'm still kind of stuck in the 1,000 follower plan. You feel me? So it's like, yeah,
Do
I
you
kind I kind of forgot what the question was,
no
but
no 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 like so you like real selective with like
oh
who you bring
yeah,
on the
I mean, so
platform?
definitely now it's kind of like I said, with the time and everything, it's kind of like now it's kind of really where it's at now. It's really kind of an audience for real. Like it's people really like locked in. Like it's really like it's really becoming like a big thing. Like people are really tapped in, like on some like I don't know the word for it. Like it ain't like it's the most serious thing where everybody rushing to it, but it's kind of like a thing everybody know for real. You might see, you might like the song, you might see it might be some funny shit. So like this year, I kind of been on some entertaining shit, but at the end of the day, there's somebody right there. I don't know if they need. Yeah, but it's really on some like entertainment shit. But then like this year, it's been a lot of crazy stuff on there. But I swear to God, I'm not telling these people to come on there and do nothing. Like most of the time, 99% of the time, really 100% of the time, they don't even tell me what they want to do until they get there. So a lot of the crazy stuff on there this year, I'm really kind of just going with the wave. Like I'm not really too serious. I'm a funny guy too, so it's like and I think at the end of the day, like music is too serious. Like especially when you're trying to like become a rapper or like become a professional at it, like it's a serious thing. So it's like the people that don't do it, they don't understand how serious it is. So it's kind of like they rather see some funny stuff or like, but they know they can see some funny. I'm not saying I'm even going for the funny stuff. All that stuff, be people really coming to us wanting to do it, but I'm just not against it, and I'm not really promoting it. I just want people to come on there and do their thing. Like I feel like if it's hard, people gonna like it regardless. But I just like to, I don't know, just keeping it going for real. But like I was saying, it's just an audience now to where I wouldn't just put somebody that's ass on it because I don't want. I just want the longevity of it. I don't want somebody to fuck up what I got going on.
So like walk everybody through like the typical day. Like say you got like an artist that you know gonna be shooting a freestyle for. What is like that whole process like? Like
So
setting up everything, meeting with the artist, being there, filming, all of that.
so we try to have it when 99% of the time it's like just how you had it. Like I come in, I just sit down for real. So like most of the time, like the artists come in, we might adjust the lights for real based on like skin tones or like complexions and stuff like that. But other than that, it's kind of like we want people to just it's like plug and play for real. This kind of how this is. It's come and sit right down. So the process, most likely the stuff is already set up for real. And if not, we may only say we shoot Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We might set up on Friday and it's still up Saturday and Sunday. But this how you could pack that backdrop up. We can pack up the whole operation for real. But just yeah, setting up the lights, camera, tripod. So by the time the artist gets there, it's just the 5 scenes, some conversations in between the scenes. Then after the 5 scenes is the pictures, and then yeah. But I tried so since I stay in Baltimore County, so since we shooting in Bowie now, it's just I try to make it more scheduled. Like I try to like might have like a 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'll try to have it like that. Just since we've been in Bowie, I've been having it kind of like that, just so I'm not. Cause I work like I said, I teach, so I get off at like 4:15, so I couldn't get to Bowie till like 5:45 safely. So I kind of just want to make it make more sense for real. And I'm trying to have kind of more patience and like I said, like change my mindset and not really try to move like I'm trying to prove a point for real. I was really trying to prove a point the whole time.
So who been like some of your favorite artists to like work with?
Like Nino paid, that was crazy. Like just to see like damn, that's what it looked like somebody blowing up like really like right in front of you like. So that was dope. NSG Chaz, that was hard. Like he literally said like, all right, let's go viral before we hit record on the freestyle, and it really went viral. And that joint really kind of like, that's when like people would see me and like, oh, the floaters. That's when that started. Like, oh, you do the floaters, or they'll already know me. Like, oh, I seen your little podcast or something like that. So that's when that started. It's a lot. I kind of like working with like majority of the artists, like 99% of the artists. I mean, I never really had no issues working with nobody, but I like working with a lot of people. I like working with Pinky the Rabbit. She's cool. There's a lot of people, too many artists, and then like we probably did like 300. Oh, my man John Wells, 300. We work all the time though. I don't know. What's some of your favorites?
Uh, Shay Rose was on there. You know, shout out to Shay Rose. Hers
Yeah,
was
Shay
dope.
Rose, that was hard.
Yeah, I liked I like Vita Venom's on there too. Hers was
Vita was
dope too.
hard.
And trying to think, 5 Star and Taymula just did theirs. You know, shout out to them. I like theirs. But
It was definitely hard.
yeah, now y'all had a lot of people, man. Y'all had a lot. Like you said, y'all had a lot of
Yeah, that's what I'm
artists,
saying.
man.
You just be naming everybody. Not saying like that, but it's a lot. It's just hella people for real. I don't even want to start naming.
Yeah. So, like I was telling you earlier, like I'm gonna be honest, like low key, a lot of the rappers that be on your platform, like you be like dead ass like putting them on, like you know, like you be giving them a like exposure and light and all of that. Like, so how do you feel like knowing that, like you be like giving these artists a lot of exposure, like with your platform?
Yeah, I agree, but it's tough to say putting them on because it's really like to really be a rapper and like people gravitate to you. It's kind of like it don't just start with a performance video for real. So it's like you had to already have like everything there, or like it's not really. It might not even be putting you on. It's really just like placebo. Like I don't know. Like it's not really putting you on. It might just be putting you back in people's faces. But it's definitely cases where people be like, "Yeah, I heard of yo from you," but it's like I heard of yo from somebody else too. You feel me? So I think it's a great thing. Definitely, like I said, like how I was 2018, I started going to the studio. 2019, I was dropping. 2020, I dropped the camera. I ain't dropped a official tape since then for real. So and the tapes I dropped that was official was like really me learning how to studio rap for real. But like I'm saying, I'm dumb nice. I ain't saying it like that, but I'm just kind of more like if you go to like my page and shit, like I'm kind of more like I kind of more do the music right now as like an expression, like i I'm really kind of not trapped in like the video shit, but it's like the hustle I chose for real. So, but it's not really. in my shoes, it's not really easy to make music at the same time for real. So how I feel to put people on, in that sense, it's kind of like, damn, like it's really a dream come true for real. Cause it's like to even make a contribution to hip hop, it's kind of like, or to be somebody in hip hop in any form, like or in DMV hip hop, Baltimore hip hop, it's big for real. Cause it's like I'm just like everybody else. Like people don't believe in them or whatever. So it's a lot of people kind of happy. A lot of people didn't believe or whatever, but it's a lot of people happy for me. Like wow, like I really seen you really just figure it out or get lucky for real.
Do a lot of the artists that you have on, like they be like hitting you, telling you, like how they appreciate, the opportunity and everything?
Yeah, I definitely get that for real. There's a lot of artists that helped us get to that point for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's really a community for real because it's like if I could really break it down, I don't want to be too like blunt about it or open about it, but it's kind of like it's like the bigger artists. It's kind of like the smaller artists are helping me help the bigger artists, but at the same time I'm helping the smaller artists for real. So it's like we all keeping it going. The bigger artists kind of bring the smaller artists, but without the smaller artists, I wouldn't be able to keep shooting the bigger artists for real. So it's kind of like really is a whole community.
Do you got like any like dream artists that you want to like have on there
It'd be
eventually?
tough to have Wale on there, especially like on some DMV stuff. That'd be hard. Like Wale, Currency, for real. But what's crazy though is kind of like people like YBS Scholar, Young Moves, like that was those kind of like okay, like wow, like it's crazy. And a lot of other names is like that too. It's like this crazy, but it's like you gotta think this is all still like not local for real, but it's all like regional stuff for real. So it's not like I ever did like somebody I grew up like really like fanned out listening to. I haven't really worked with nobody yet that like I'm saying it's been people. It's definitely like been people I've been like oh shit this yo. A lot of the time like oh shit this yo like especially in the beginning like I'm used to it more now to where I don't really have anxiety over or overthinking, but we still didn't get to the point where it's like, oh, this is like somebody huge. So a dream like J. Cole, like really just the big names. Like get a future on there. And it's possible, like all this stuff is right here.
When did y'all like start expanding like outside of like Baltimore and like kind of like getting other rappers from outside of like be more?
So I'm from Columbia, so you gotta think that's like it's way closer to Baltimore than DC, but it's kind of, but you know how the DC is PG DC, so it's kind of like it kind of blends in with that too. And Baltimore's right there, so it's kind of like I'm already not from Baltimore, so it's not like I kind of branched out. It's kind of like I started shooting videos. I worked with who wanted to work with me, so I was shooting in Baltimore. So now I really kind of fell in love with the scene for real. So I understand it now. I don't know who everybody is, but I know it. I know it way more than I know any other scene. Like, I really don't know the DC scene like that now. Like I'm learning it as I go. But as far as branching out, like it's always been kind of like a couple DC artists. Like Chaz French was like one of our first big ones too. Like when you think about 2024, Chaz French was the first one we posted. The Pago Panama, we did that in December 2023. That was one of my first big ones too. So it kind of already been like a back and forth, but it did get to like once it got after the chat after NSG Chaz, like it kind of did get to like a mean Baltimore around for real. Then now I teach in Baltimore City, so it's kind of like I work in a school with the kids like, and they all the way tapped in like they be in the hallways playing the freestyle, just drop. I'm knowing it's on the floors because that's the only way to place the song is. So then that gave me a whole different perspective on it too, because they listen to music different. Like the same music I might put on there, they might they really be knowing what the rappers be talking about more than I do. They be letting me know sometimes like what's going on, and so it's a different kind of thing now. It's kind of when I first started teaching, like my first couple weeks, like the kid like got the headphones and rapping somebody. I'm like, I ain't going there like, oh, I do the floaters, check me out. I just kind of just went in there, I ain't say nothing, and the kid was just rapping like a couple of the kids knew off the rip though, like so a few kids didn't know, but one of the kids was just rapping five. My man's the student Cam was rapping 556 Cam. Somebody another rapper named Cam. In the class, I'm like, who's that? He's like 556 Cam. And that's when I hit up 556 Cam, did a freestyle. So it did get kind of to the point where it's kind of like deep in the Baltimore scene to where I kind of can see the underdog that's about to be. I don't know. I really like the Baltimore music scene. It's really kind of like something really special for real. Like so for it really be like what it is now in Baltimore is like it's amazing kind of like it's kind of I don't know I ain't gonna say too much but it's really amazing kind of how they like revere it for real.
What's the hardest part for you as far as like running the floaters?
Just the everyday part of it for real. So it's like gotta fit it in for real. Or it's just like the days I don't do it, the more I gotta do it the next day. It's just kind of just really such a small business that is really I'm the only person this kind. I'm like the only person that's 24/7 with it. Like I got people that help me for real, but everything kind of falls on my fingertips for real. So that's the hard part. Like, and then being a teacher, it's my first year teaching. Is kind of like it's hard for real because that's something that's kind of guaranteed and really I could really lock in on for real. But it's like I'm all the way locked in on this to where it's like I can't even help it. Like I thought it was the money why I was doing it, but when I got the job, it's kind of like I still just kind of just can't stop. So that'd be the hardest part, just balancing it and really not and really like having to move off discernment and faith. Like that'd be the hardest part because that can get manipulated for real. Like so you could so time be so valuable and you can waste it. Like somebody can be late 2 hours and it's like, damn, oh now I got a couple hours, go home, wake up, make a lesson plan. So that's really the hard part for real. But it's a lot of like beautiful parts. Like even this interview right here, like it's this dope. Like it's like just seeing like how people fuck with it and everything. Like
So when you first started, the floaters, I know, and like looking back on it then, and comparing it to where you at now, did you have like a lot of people that like kind of like doubted what you had going on, basically saying like it wasn't gonna work or it wasn't gonna be nothing like?
yeah, somebody said a lot of first. Somebody was like a lot of businesses fail in the first year or something like that. Dumbass name or something like that. I mean, but that was one small thing for real. But people doubting it. I think what be funny now is like some people think we should switch it up. Like we are gonna switch it up, but it's like I kind of look at that as doubt, and it's like you don't see the vision. Kind of like if you ever look at you ever heard this thing called like, the kitchen table series? Not the kitchen table series, but something like the kitchen table, right? And it's like this photographer from I don't know the 80s, 90s, right? But it was a kitchen table. Like she took a series of pictures for a long time of just a family at a kitchen table. So one picture might just be the mother. She might be calculating the bills or something. The next picture might be her and her husband arguing. Next picture might be them in love, smiling. Next picture might be them with the kids. But everything is at this kitchen table for real. So like a lot of people think you need to switch it up, but it's like it's really just blue paper. But everything is going to always be different on there. So it's like people doubting it. I would say like people that think we need to switch it up. But I don't really want to talk about people doubting it because that'll get me in a whole different character.
On the flip side, like the people that be showing you love and supporting everything, like how does it feel, knowing that like you had the vision and now people starting to see you got a lot of motion now, a lot of traction, everybody praising you. Like, how does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel like it makes me feel like the answer was there the whole time, like, cause it really just was locking all the way in, like, even when it didn't make sense, just locking in and keeping it going, and just so for it to get praised now and people seeing the vision, it's just like it just made me feel like I always just needed to work hard at like how I started to work for real. So it's just like the fact that I did it when I could have just been like, man, I'm not doing that, man. It don't make no sense. Like, and the fact that I was just like, you know what, it don't make no sense. But what the fuck else am I gonna do for real? Like, it was some back against the wall decisions, and I just locked all the way in. Like, so once we started the Floridas, it was just like people did like it. Like right away, people liked it for real. But it just wasn't nothing going on to where it was kind of blowing me. It's like, all right, I like it, that's cool, but we don't even know what the fuck we about to do. Like, but it was people was liking it so much that I felt like I couldn't just be like, you know what, we're not doing this no more for real. So like a lot of stuff happened at the beginning, like people that I was fucking with, like, man, you feel me, bro? I'm not fucking with it, bro. Like, so it's just like I just felt like it was no point of return for real. Like, and it was something like getting into business with my man Henry was like something we always talked about for real. Like, that's somebody who really like I couldn't did this without for real. And you feel me? That's my business partner for real. So him believing in me for real was like it's for me how it started. Like, gave me that hope, and it's just like the opportunity he gave me for real. It's just like I felt like if I don't take advantage of this opportunity, like I ain't see no other way for real. Like, I didn't even know the teaching stuff was gonna happen, but that really only happened off of this because it's like I was like, all right, this is going kind of good, but the money be like, it's a business, like we trying to grow it, so it's like the money wasn't there. So like, man, I gotta keep this going. Let me just work, get a job, like got a job at a school, like 18 an hour for real. I was like, at least I know I'm sure my rent gonna be paid, and that's kind of just like going back to work. It's kind of how I led into the teaching job for real. Like, my father knew somebody that knew about the position, and it just fit perfectly. Like,
So, with the DC music scene or the Baltimore music scene and then the DMV music scene, you help that scene out a lot, with the exposure you get to the rappers. Do you feel like the DMV and then Baltimore's music scene can be like how it is in, like, say, like Chicago or Atlanta or like New York? You feel like it
yeah,
can get to that point?
it was crazy. Like, so when I graduated from Morgan, like that was my capstone project. Like, the graduate was like, can um can like the new technologies and like media and like recording processes and production processes help Baltimore become a hub like Atlanta, Houston, New York, and all that, LA. So that's why it really kind of feels crazy that it is to this point, like, because that was like what I studied. That's what my project was, and I had no idea. I kind of like was ignorant to the whole scene. Like, I only knew about Young Scooter and Moose. I didn't really know about nobody else. But how's it feel? I mean, yeah, I definitely feel like I feel like it's getting there for real, and I feel like we're helping to get there because we kind of like, even though numbers don't matter, but like people do feel like if you go crazy on our shit, it's like, okay, so kind of is like a scoreboard kind of. So that makes an industry though. So it's kind of like, all right, everybody out here is doing this. So I think that's how industry forms.
Lastly, I want to ask, like, with 2025, kicking off and everything, what do you have planned for like the floaters for this year?
For this year, for real, I kind of just don't want to fuck up the legacy of it that we already kind of built for real. Like, I feel like the work that I put in, like, people recognize it. You feel me? And it's like I don't gotta beat the bush for real. So it's like I'm just gonna try to be more like poised with it and just kind of double dutch it. Like still like had that discernment and take that faith on certain like videos, but just try not to be like money hungry or like just tacky for real. Like, cause I made a couple mistakes here and there, but that's my whole goal for this year is just to just appreciate everything that already happened and just not try to mess it up. Like, it's a lot of artists. You go to a lot of respectable artists. You go to their page right now, you'll see your photos on there. So it's like I kind of feel a little responsibility now. It's like, all right, like they got faith in this, like so let me just keep it peace for real.
All right, for sure. Nero, man, appreciate you pulling up, bro. Mean a
Yeah,
lot, man, for real.
thank you, bro.